morning, Instagram. I am apparently live, and this is the first time I've ever done this, so it's all very exciting. I don't think this function was even available when I first started the business back in September 2021. So exploring a new function today, which is pretty exciting. And what I wanted to share was just a bit of an update. So big things happening at Passage Migration. Passage Migration is now also has another company. So I wanted to just touch base, say hello, and welcome any new followers that have now joined the Diary of a Migration Lawyer channel. The Diary of a Migration Lawyer channel started out as a bit of an origin story of Passage Migration, and which was originally Journey Migration until I realized that someone else was actually registered in that company name. So lesson learned on that one. So Passage Migration was launched in September 2021, and this channel really started as a bit of a way to give an origin story and have a bit of a conversation around why I was even doing this, why I would be starting a business, excuse me, and why I would even open an immigration law firm in the middle of a pandemic. Mind you, it was towards the end of the pandemic when the borders were closed. So it just seemed like a good idea at the time. And I have never looked back, really. So the purpose of me starting this law firm, which is Passage Migration Consulting, was really so that I could bring a different type of law and different type of customer service and client service to the people that really needed help. So with immigration, unfortunately, sometimes it's a bit of a transactional thing, and immigration lawyers or migration agents are often dealing with very high volume work. And what I found was people weren't really getting the information that they needed. And so the purpose of opening Passage Migration Consulting really was to offer that human-centric experience. The values of Passage Migration Consulting, and watch me try and say them live now. I created those values really over the last 18 months, to be honest, and tried to really pull them together really based on the way the practice was going, how I wanted to feel when I came to work, and how I wanted people to feel when they were essentially working directly with me, how I wanted people to walk away from having a conversation with me, having a conversation with my now staff, which we'll get to as a big update later. So the values of the organization are first to educate, and that's to educate both our clients and ourselves. So I don't posture to go out there and say that I know everything. That would be silly, right? You never want to be the smartest person in the room. You're always going to be someone there that knows a little bit more than you, so you can constantly be learning. And also to educate our clients, just to make good decisions. Again, in the world of migration, sometimes people make some silly decisions, and unfortunately a silly decision in the world of migration can mean that you're either completely unlawful in a country, or you lose the prospect to do certain things that you wanted for your future, like get permanent residency or Australian citizenship. So educate's a really big one for me. Off the back of that, we then design legal solutions. So designing legal solutions for me essentially looks like a bit of a map. So if someone says to me, hey, Rachel, I've just come to the country, but I'd love to have citizenship. I say to them, great idea, but probably let's sit down and talk about how that might work. Let's try and say, okay, well, your visitor visa is probably not going to get you to citizenship right away. But if it is something that you're looking to do later down the track, or how can we take the steps to get there? That's what I really love to do. I love to create maps and try and help people solve their problem and get to their migration goal. Then there's no point in designing a legal solution unless we can execute it. So another value is to execute quality and slick work. And so really big one for me. Everyone is responsible for doing that. Anyone that we engage with, anyone that I employ, anyone that works directly with me, I really expect that level of work. Just so that, things are getting done effectively, efficiently, and really the best, that really for me creates the best type of customer experience for a client. What else? So the next one is to educate, look at me forgetting this. Next one is kindness. So kindness in the legal profession is something that is not often practiced, except with the lawyers that I hang out with. So shout out to all the kind lawyers out there that actually like each other and like to hang out and enjoy a bit of tinsel and confetti in their lives. So kindness is a really big one for me. Kindness to our clients, kindness to our colleagues, but also to ourselves. Back in 2017, I want to say it was, I suffered a pretty significant period of burnout, and it sucked. It used to take me 2 hours to get from the bottom of my building to the top of the building for my hands to shake for me to get in the door. And if I tell that story now, when I stand in a room full of people and have a conversation and just be the authentic version of me that I am now able to be, having run my own practice, people are usually gobsmacked that I would ever sort of be that kind of shell of a person. So that's a really big one for me. The next one is ethics. So not just because we have to be as lawyers, otherwise we'll get sued. We have to be ethical, but we always have to be honest. And I'm the type of person that goes back and drives an hour to go and pay for a $5 ice cream that I accidentally forgot to pay for at a service station. So they're the types of people that I work with. They're the types of people that I employ. And that really comes through, I think, in the way we practice. And then the final one, and I might have missed one, but forgive me. First time I'm doing a live. I'm really trying to keep this going. Thanks, Gail, for making me do this. So Gail is my superstar digital marketing expert, everybody. So if you need anyone to do digital marketing, go check out the Digital Marketing Mentor. So the last one is, oh my God, I just lost it. Ethics, honesty, kindness, and execution. And tinsel. How did I forget tinsel? I forgot tinsel because I'm moving house and the tinsel wall has been removed from the back behind me. Usually I have a big pink tinsel wall. And if you head on over to my YouTube channel, Diary of a Migration Lawyer, you'll see I enjoy a bit of tinsel in the background. So what has happened since I opened in September 2021? So I was on my morning walk this morning down at Manly by the water, and I tried to reflect on this a little bit because I remember doing a first 100 days post when I first started, because I had all the time in the world when I first started a business and I could sit there and do all of these things. And apparently I thought I was going to be the president because I was mapping my first 100 days. So I think we're close to the first 100 weeks of business. So let's call it that. And having a look at some of the stats. So I think based on that, there's been at least one new client a week. There has been one new company a month. And most recently, the coolest updates is that I have recently brought on board 3 students. And these students are essentially pinned my support crew. And shout out to support crew, Hannah, Natalie, and Faye Teresa. So super exciting to have them on board. We did some onboarding training, and I did warn them that onboarding with me as a law firm owner compared to onboarding with many other law firm owners was probably going to be a bit of a different experience. We sat down and did a vision board. We identified what our values were. We talked about what the DISC profiling was. And for me, that really started to help me understand the way that these people were going to work a little bit better. The way that they were going to work and how we could work better together. So that's been a really exciting milestone for me. We are also working out of the Brisbane Business Hub now. So shout out to the Brisbane Business Hub. It has been a really cool experience. If anyone doesn't know what the Brisbane Business Hub is, go Google it. I don't really want to tell you too much because I kind of want to keep it as my hidden secret. It is an amazing little place not little at all, it's a couple of levels, in the middle of Brisbane, which essentially is there really to support local businesses in the Brisbane area. So go check that out if you haven't done that already. What other updates? Other updates is that I got married, so that was cool. That was quite a fun day. Went from the registry in Brisbane after getting stuck in a car park and getting pictures of Customs House, and also then ending up at Shucks down at Manly, which is probably one of the best restaurants in Brisbane. Just throw that out there. So I got married, I employed staff, and the other thing that I did was we launched, my husband and I, launched a new business also called Passage Co. So I work with a lot of individuals that want migration outcomes. So essentially people that want a work visa, or they're maybe looking at a partner visa. They're probably the 2 things that I specialize really in, or that I love to do the most. And the Passage Co, essentially, the company was built out of this need that I saw, that I was saying to companies, hey, if you've got a labor shortage, I reckon what you could do is employ people from overseas. And then they go, yeah, great idea, Rachel, but where do we find them? And so, again, on the morning walk, because that's where all my best ideas happen, I came home to my now husband and said, babe, this is definitely what we should do. And he was like, 100%, let's do, like, recruitment is such a huge thing that we need. Finding good humans for good jobs is definitely something that we should 100% get on board. So we launched Passage Co. We don't claim to be recruiters though. We are essentially we're finding the right people for the right roles within the right companies to support Australian businesses. So it's awesome talent for Australian businesses. So that's something that's really cool that's happened as well. The website my website, Passage Migration Consulting, has been updated. It's all very pretty and branded, and all my colors are brighter than what I thought. So when I first started the business, the colors were there was a dark blue, there was a dull kind of bright pink. But when I spoke to a marketing company, they said to me, make it brighter. And I was a bit terrified because, I am a lawyer at heart, despite wearing confetti and tinsel and these crazy earrings on a live to talk to everyone. But they said go brighter. And I think for me, that was a really big indicator that it's okay to get out there and be authentic. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who your clients are. I deal with drilling companies. I deal with companies that drive big trucks and excavators and all of these things. And the fact that I have pink in my branding does not change the way that I operate as a practitioner. Does not change the outcomes that I get, does not change the fact that partner visas come through in generally less than 6 months. A work visa comes through in generally less than a month. It doesn't change the way I practice. So that's a really cool learning for me in business. Another really big learning I've had is you can't do everything by yourself. So again, Gail at the Digital Marketing Mentor is helping with social media. Carmen at All About Figures is my amazing bookkeeper. So there is all these people kind of that sit behind business owners and the people that you see on social media and make all these things happen. I think for me, what I was finding was that it felt like everyone's business was getting bigger and better and doing all the things way quicker than mine was. And so I think I was suffering from a bit of comparison anxiety, and I probably still will. I think it's a bit of comparison anxiety right beside imposter syndrome some days. So it's a bit of a strange world being a business owner, but I flip and love it. And I wouldn't go back to any other way of working now, despite having a momentary lapse of sanity the other night and saying to my husband, maybe I should just go find a job. And he said, maybe not. So that's where we're at. Things are going pretty well. I'm excited to start pushing a big scary thing over the next 6 months, and that is sales. So believe it or not, a law firm needs sales to survive, and sales is not a dirty word. Thank you, Ryan Tupwood at Swish, for confirming that. So sales is not a dirty word. Any business that has any, chance at longevity needs sales. And so I am going to be focusing a lot on that. Off the back of that, I won a grant from the Lord Mayor Women in Business grant from the Brisbane City Council last year, and that money has gone to creating commercials. So you will be seeing a lot more of me in my first Hollywood appearance, really, in a commercial. And then there will be another one as well that doesn't star me, but I was kind of behind the scenes pretending like I was a director. And the crew at Bear Marketing, shout out to Liam and Joel, were kind enough to tell me, or at least pretend like my opinion mattered. So thanks, guys. I'm sure I was just being a pain. But I did bring them cupcakes, so that made everything better. So there's commercials coming. I am about to sit down in a consultation with the Sudbury Subi crew, which is super exciting. I've been doing training with Swish, sales training, and there's lots of cool things happening. So it's been a time. It's been a crazy few months. Anyone that knows me, that is close to me, that knows that I think there's been some peaks and lows, but I think that just comes with the territory of starting a business. Some days are really good and you're flying, and then other days things just suck. And you're by yourself and you're not really sure what to do next, and not really sure how the next payment's going to be made or whatever those things are happening. But I think the reality is it's just a bit of faith, to be honest. And if if you're going to have faith in anything, I think you need to have faith in yourself. And I'm going to have to go back and listen to this video over and over again so I can remind myself of that. But it's one of those things where if you don't believe that you can do it, then you can't. But if you believe that you can, then you can, right? So it's a bit of a psychological brain meddle a little bit for me some days. So some days I said I'm feeling really good. Other days I, kind of want to just stay in bed and watch Netflix. But as the business owner, you are all the things. So you need to be out there, you need to be, networking, prospecting, doing the work, keeping up client experience, and now also handling staff, which is really exciting. So I'm excited to see what the next chapter brings. I'm excited to start doing more lives because this is going to be an interesting way of connecting with the people that are following me. So thank you everyone for your for following along. If you want more or want to just kind of catch some snapshots of different bits and pieces of immigration law advice, or not advice, because that's a total disclaimer, it is general information only. You can head on over to the YouTube channel Diary of a Migration Lawyer. That is really hard to say quickly. So Diary of a Migration Lawyer on YouTube. And then we have also the Passenger Migration Consulting LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, wherever you want to come follow me. We will be releasing a newsletter coming in the first week of July. And there will also be a super cool, exciting giveaway happening in the first week of July as well. To celebrate my birthday, I am celebrating all of you. So I want to get as much information out to as many people as possible. So if you can sign up to the newsletter, that would be super awesome. I will leave a link in my link tree on LinkedIn as well. And that will be shared on social media soon as well. So thanks for listening. My first live, so don't judge me if I was umming and ahhing the whole way, but I think it went pretty well. So happy Wednesday, I think we're at, and have a good day.